Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin.
It's on the floor and I can't get it back. It's so far away.
Hello, people.
Oh
this
my
is a
God.
Jerry. This is a
I
me.
just can't get near it.
Welcome, Rumbly, Orinoco, Demon Sub, Tuffy, Dark Danigan,
Oh, find it.
Ananda, Dutch,
Oh, God.
Ewok Kebab. Welcome on, welcome all. So, Dr. Danigan, why would you curse like that? Who has annoyed you that much? Hello, PZ
probably us.
Messi.
Here he was on Twitch. Pundancer's about to go live. Like, fuck for that. He can change the channel. Go off and watch some EastEnders or something. Is that a video game background behind Punny? No, I think it's his Star Wars stuff. That's all the colours.
Oh, I don't think he's talking about me, but I might be wrong. What do I know?
That's what you're talking about. Makes no sense.
It's the eye of the beholder by the looks of it.
It's not now. Don't worry about that. That's the moon. All hail the glow cloud.
I think I got it a wee bit. Yep, sleep is going to be late today.
Oh, dead flies. I have a question.
Yes.
Night in the woods? No, Night Vale. Different. All hail the glow cloud. So, let's say, for example, we had filmed 4 games in a mini campaign for an upcoming theme week, and then we discovered there were video issues with the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather, and this is where I'm leaning at the moment, I just go, hi folks, we filmed these games, first game's fact, we're doing it again to show you it, but don't expect the results to be the same at the end, ignore that going forward for casualties and shit, or bluff it out and go, yep, no, this is the first game, and then come to the end and have to fudge all the fucking casualties and shit. Because at the moment, for the path of least resistance and ease, I feel like just going, don't worry about the people who are dead at the end here. Don't worry about who wins. Take this as a learning game, you cunts.
Yeah, I would go with your choice, I think, because the fudging... what will happen is you will fudge something wrong, people will notice and will be up in arms. If you're up front and go, hey, we filmed this before, filming went kabooey,
Filmed it fucking twice before. This will be the 3rd time we've fucking filmed game 1, for fuck's sake.
3rd time's the charm?
I'm starting to get really annoyed with game 1. Just saying.
Oh, might I suggest a 3rd option?
Not refilming at all. Can't refilm at all.
Not
Be edited in time.
Not reshooting the first, but put a disclaimer before. We did this. The audio's fucked. We are underlining
it's not the
this.
audio. It's the video.
Oh,
it goes black in places. There was
okay. Then just put a disclaimer on every time it goes black. Just
no.
Put an
Lloyd
avian
would
in.
lose his shit. Lloyd would lose his shit, and I'm not entirely certain what the company behind it, because it's Osprey, would think about us going, yeah, here's your new game. Good luck and fucking seeing what's happening.
Okay, so if it's paid promotion, I just reshoot the first game and put it, as you said, with a disclaimer.
Okay.
Go on from there.
That's right.
Release it as an audio podcast.
Don't tell me.
I mean, you could also put the failed video on a separate link that's not listed, and just put it in the description. So if people wanted to see the actual game, they could go there.
Don't know if there's anything major beyond the casualty results at the end, which obviously impact the next game. Not so much. Yeah.
But
replace all the black screens with suitable comic strips.
Color me intrigued now.
That would require somebody to do some work, and I don't think that would happen with that somebody.
Replace all the black screens with some suitable
like
comic
that
strips.
Ewok.
Yeah. Insert a scene of Lloyd robbing his trains.
Yeah. Good. I mean, at the very least, it would distract everybody from what we're doing at the table.
Or just release the first video, go to the second video, and if anybody is noticing where there are things different, let them have a special voucher for the on-tabletop store.
I'm not getting a voucher off us. Fuck them. Especially not now I've told all you cunts. You'd all be waiting for the second video to go out, wouldn't you? Bastards.
Well, if you
Probably
put it
TT scale, which stands for something. TT, tabletop scale, which makes no
What's that?
sense because all toy trains are on tables.
Yeah. Best train scale is Z.
Oh no, the second video won't be the first video of doing it because the first video is the teaching video, as in how the game plays and the mechanics, because we don't fucking talk about that in any other video.
So the
So
tutorial.
there will have to be a first video. It's just the first video, and the end of it will probably not marry up with the second, third, and fourth. So
Yeah, I'm guessing your choice is the most viable option to
I think so.
please the one who bought the advertisement space.
I don't know if Benji cares as long as we don't fuck it up and ruin it for everybody.
Speaking
I
of
don't think he cares what way it goes.
Speaking of advertisement,
That's the one.
I had a nice interaction today,
Yes.
quote unquote. So I was actually contemplating about getting a new bicycle because mine is old and busted and I need a new one.
You're very classical.
And I went to a specialist shop and thought, yeah, there will be somebody who will give me proper guidance on what to buy. Fuck all. Yeah, we've got this one. Yeah, and any different? No, just this one. You've got a store full of bicycles, and you just show me one bicycle.
Presumably they're not on commission. Because if they're on commission, they'd be fucking selling you every bike, starting with the most expensive and working down until you finally give.
I think it went downhill the second I told him, yeah, I want a bicycle. I do not want an electric motor in it. I do not want a carrier bike, you know, these with the large scoops in front.
Like a snowplow, like a cow catcher on a steam in America. Do you have those in Germany? That's
the
madness.
Bicycle equivalent of a small truck.
Oh, okay. Weird. You got the PSC dispatch note for the Crumbly. Oh, right.
Cargo bike, that's the word I was missing, yeah.
But did you not get the Crumbly Forge stuff yesterday? Or did you get the stuff and then you've got the shipping notification today after you've received it? Is that how it's going? Is another PSC special? I know there's a 30-second delay, so while he's typing that in, yeah.
According to the signage on front of the store, their specialty was bicycles.
Oh, that's good.
And the most annoying thing about this is we have been in that store before, just having things for our daughter for her bicycle helmet and stuff, and it was always, we were very well treated and got good consultation on things we needed. But today the guy just couldn't give a fuck.
Well, to be fair to him, it's Tuesday. So,
yes. So your point being?
Is that it? I can't remember. It's been so long. So Tuesdays are days when bike salesmen just traditionally just couldn't give a fuck. I thought you knew that.
How would I know?
Oh.
I'm not bicycle repairman.
Oh, what a fucking legend. Huh?
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's bicycle repairman.
I can't wait to play Bicycle Repairman and Monty Python's role-playing game, not a role-playing game. Oh, good times. All right. No, you mentioned it yesterday or last night in the disco. But I thought you'd actually, because remember I went, was that closer to 2 days or 12? I think you said 22. So you didn't actually get the minis. It's just the dispatch notice. So you're still waiting on those fuckers arriving. You'd have been faster casting them yourself, or us. Just fucking sculpt them, Steve, and move on with your life. You made a spin caster out of a washing machine.
Darker, if he had trying to sell me that but one bike I was sitting on, he did a piss poor job.
What were you hoping? Somebody would come up and go, this is a carbon fiber frame and blah, blah, blah? Or...
No, but if somebody goes up to your shop and you show him one item and he says, yeah, this is not quite what I'm looking for. Do you have anything different? And there's a shop full of stuff. And you just go, nah.
This one's got 11 gears, but the one you're on has got 10.
And it goes all the way up to 11.
It says one more gear. That type of thing.
It's not a guitar amp. Bloody hell.
The
Hello,
problem
Crispin.
the problem is these days, hi Crisp. The problem these days is it used to be small companies that were trying to make a living, and they had like a small amount of people, and they give a shit. Nowadays, the shops that are left couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm guessing even though it still looks like a quote-unquote family-operated operation, which is a bit bigger, the kind of bikes, the brands they sell.
How many bike stores are there in the area?
Oh, in the double digits.
Really? Fuck.
Yes. Bicycle riding in northern Germany is a very popular sport.
It's madness.
It's also very flat.
Oh,
So-
well, fair.
It's easy going. Yeah, so what I was
Pretending
saying,
to be Danish, are you? Is that what it is?
maybe the brands they sell are literally the same as the next bigger seller has for literally the same price.
Oh, okay.
So the one he tried to sell me was 849 euros, and I looked up
You almost
a
get a
different
copy of
local
Leviathan for that.
vendor for the exact same model, 849 euros.
Yeah, good point, actually. They're from Taurus. Did they have stabilizers?
Nope.
No, not even stabilizers. Fucking hell. Oh, fuck. I want to go into a bike shop now and spend an age talking to somebody and then find out whether or not they have stabilizers to sell me with the bike. God, I can't actually. I mean, it's not difficult, is it? No, it's not difficult. But you have stabilizers, yeah. No, maybe. A little wicker basket for the front. Yeah, anyway.
Well, you can all have
Those are
that.
good on the way down. Oh, you've got an old Hovis advert there, Collins. Another one for the kids. I'm always there with the kids' references. For the youth of today, because my finger is very much on the pulse. It's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Also, congratulations, done, Crispin, on your second gold button.
Well,
Now he has one for each nipple.
that is true.
One more, and you can make yourself a bikini of golden buttons.
Oh, could you imagine?
Yes, sadly, my brain can.
Could you imagine your wife's face
Honey,
when you
how
come
do I
into the
look?
bedroom wearing your golden button bikini? Actually, with two at the moment, because you're a bloke and nobody cares whether or not we see your nipples, you could cover the little brown star and cover your naughty winky bit with just a little cheeky two-piece number around the bottom.
Yeah, Crispin, one more, and you have your anus eye.
Good times. Sweet to the beat. And I didn't even have to get involved in that one. I was doing the thing, and there it was. A little message from Ben going, look, Crispin. It's like, wow. Need some eye bleach? No, you don't. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
You need bleach for your brains at this point, because it's all in your brain.
It's all in your brain.
Yes. Speaking of brains, let's go on before
Like Pinky of the Brain.
my brain. What do we do tonight, brain?
I mean, you can bleach your anus if you want. So that's one thing to do.
I'm not sure how that works, but you do you.
Oh, porn stars do it. You know, sometimes you got like a little brownish, dark pinkish looking thing. And
Do not.
Oh, sorry.
Did I miss one?
no, that's I was just scrolling through thing. Ignore that. That's for next week.
Okay.
That is where we're starting. So when I get bored, I start scrolling through other projects in the project system. It's not my fault.
It's the magic of
Be impressed that you can probably click that one, because I've opened quite a lot of private ones here as well at the moment to criticize people for not putting them live.
It's not private. It's by Zoipenhead.
Yeah.
We look at this another
Oh.
time.
That's very decent of you. It's the Silver Lou Bayonet, but in the 1850s, so we'll definitely be revisiting it anyway. But this is a very brief one from Bex, which is an interesting thing they've been doing in their shop. You randomly pick a model from a big box of fucking loads of plastic models that are kicking around. And
leftovers.
then you, well, you know, could be, but then you pick randomly 3 paints from your collection, not including white and black. Those are allowed to be added as extra. And then you have to paint your random model with your random paints. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, for a shop, that's definitely a very interesting idea. And if you just restrict yourself to 3 paints.
Well, this is the thing, not even for a shop, but for people who want to play around with mixing and with colors, picking random colors and restricting yourself to them means you really have to think about what you're doing and compatibility, contrast, that sort of thing. So there'll be times where you're going to have to sort of ramp it up. I mean, potentially there'll be times where you get 3 colors that are just utterly awful. For me, it's a bit of a shame. I can't, well, I mean, I could randomly pick, but I know if I pull my drawer out, which is 5 deep by 80 wide, so I don't even have to go to the stuff on my little rack here, but I know that goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, brown, skin tones, metallics. So depending on going where I am, I know I'm going to be pulling a brown out, or I know I'm going to be pulling a green out or a grey out. You know, I know roughly where they are. But yeah, Jill, you're right. I remember years ago, Jen Haley decided she was going to paint a Cadwallon jailer in monochrome, just to not worry about the specific color choices, but to practice more shade and highlight, the hues that were in there. So it was literally restricted to a color plus white and black for light and darkening. Or it might not have been white and black. It may have been a color to lighten and darken without losing saturation. I can't remember. It's been a while. But when you have to do that, you stop worrying about what color am I going to use for X, and more about how can I bring out the particular thing you're working on, whether it's clothes or skin or what have you.
Yeah, and I think I've got a solution for your problem with having too many paints. You need to make
Winnies.
many tiny snippets of paper, and on each one you write what color it is, and then you draw from a hat.
Same color as the witch.
You could use a random
So the
number
witch-
generator if you're only using one color range like Vallejo that has a coherent number scheme running.
Was the Witch of Vinegar Hill? Or was that a different witch? Hi, Dee Dee.
Effective
played,
dice, welcome.
Malifaux. Well done, me. Just saying. So
Yeah,
throw
but
that one in.
this idea is
It's not that coherent. It's very coherent.
well, the numbering is coherent. The first
the numbering's coherent and their colors are coherent. I don't know what the new range is like because I haven't looked at it, but I've used it for the last 24 years because their paints don't move around.
put paints in bag, bolt action.
That type of thing, Crispin.
That could work.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably talk about it on the Weekender, assuming Warren doesn't talk about aliens.
Avians.
But Bob, who showed up to run us through it, he's run some Malifaux tournaments and things like that. So he essentially arrived with 3 other people who were also looking to either Robin, the same as me, had never played, and then Ryan had played earlier editions, hadn't played 3rd. So he had like a little beginner's pack for us, little pamphlet that he'd printed out that had the basic abilities, actions, that sort of thing. And then it was like, okay, one miniature each. Here's how you play the game, and then ran through Henchman Hardcore. Is that what it is? So we didn't use our main leaders. We just played a little 4-man crew, 30 points with a henchman in charge. So I was running around the place with. I'm going to get all the names wrong because my names are not the right names because I'm using the alternate Toil and Trouble and the Dead Babies one. So things like the kettle is really bad juju, and the Witch of the Woods are Waldgeists, sorry. And then the Dead Babies, which is an Ads and a Will o' the Wisp, but they're called Kinderbaum and Oberling. But I really had a lot of fun, especially when it came to Henchman Hardcore with the Bedeviled Kettle, Bad Juju. In one game, he was killed 3 times and reduced to 1 health. Before, that was the last turn of the game. It was like you failed to kill him the 4th time. If you'd managed to do that, he may have actually stayed dead because you can discard a card to bump him back to 4, and then you can he regenerates 2 when it's start of his turn, and if he's in severe ground, he regenerates another one. So I just had witches casting patches of severe ground under him, and then he'd be killed, and he'd pop back up with 4, and then he'd heal 3, and so he'd be back on 7 out of 9 health, despite having been killed the previous turn. Fucking hilarious.
Sounds a bit like filth.
Yeah. Oh no, it was delightful. But yeah, it was interesting seeing because when we were playing the hardcore, I took essentially one of each model I had. So I had the ads, I had of Waldgeist, Kinderbaum, and then whatever the other one was. Oh yeah, Bad Juju, Bedevil Kettle. And it was nice seeing the sort of the synergies where you go, well, they can activate and then they can do these moves and you have to discard a card or not, depending on whether or not you're in the train. So there's a lot of cast to drop the train and move people around, and a lot of buffing and things like that. It was good fun. Like it. Yeah, I imagine he would be. But then, at that point I hadn't thrown out the Toad or Zoraidra. So, but yeah, be doing that again. It's good times.
Speaking of liking, I like the idea that Bax is doing here. And
Yeah.
I think having a small pool of random miniatures just to break up monotony of your own paint jobs is interesting. This too could be a challenge, but we don't want to scare the Lloyd more than we need.
Oh, look at that turquoise color, turquoise/teal. It's amazing. Everybody should do that. Twitch just told you. Oh my god! And we were trying to hide from you, Dan.
Run away! Twitch is a snitch.
Yeah, they're just the worst.
The worst. Do we want to go on to the next one?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
What's it to you? Huh?
I don't know. Hello, Pete. Your project is on in the focus light of spotlight on focus again.
Sure, whatever.
Me no talkie.
2 things. Obviously, for people in the Ingerland, where the Ingers come from, there is a upcoming convention. BrickCon is running on the 12th of August. So if people are in the area and want to go down, there's the Barons War tournament at it that Pete is. I don't know if he's running it by himself. I think somebody else is doing it, and then Pete has foolishly agreed to help. But there are the details there if you want to sign up, if you can get that way up to Nottingham, where the Lead Belt lives. You can always go and see some proper miniature places like Bantic or Warlord or Bad Squiddo, or there's fucking so many of them. A lot of them are very close to GW, so you get a taxi driver to drop you at GW and then just turn your back on it and walk away until you find a proper place. So that'll be good. But if you haven't seen it in the disco, or if you're not in the House Water #BestHouse, then he has been printing out. See, I know all the jargon, all the lingo. He has been printing out his Crusader fort, which he now has 2 weeks to paint the whole thing. So I expect if you haven't already subbed to this or followed this particular project, I imagine you will see in the not too distant future a whole host of brickery being painted up. Yeah, the Red See-Through Gummy Castle, yep, that's the one.
He has shown it on Face Page and in Disco. So
yep.
It looks very red.
Just helping provide the castle. Okay. No, I didn't know. I thought I knew it was helping. I thought somebody else was on, but I don't know how involved that is. Because often with tournaments, you end up having to be like a ringer, and if somebody doesn't show up to even the numbers, somebody else has to play. So that's maybe Pete's job. Once he's provided the castle, he may just have to sit there and go, "Oh no, somebody's fucked off." In that case, I'm gonna have to scream "Allah Akbar" and attack.
And drop your backpack.
I find it best to split them alternate days, Crispin. Just
Also,
rub one out.
Do not always use one hand. You need to alternate your hands, otherwise you'll get cramps.
Yes, very true. Or alternatively, if you sit on your hand or use a bag of frozen peas, then it numbs it and it feels like somebody else is doing it. So
yeah,
it's all good. It's all good.
What we call the stranger.
Do
Though
you think that
yes?
Andy's flashlight talks to the other toys like Woody when Andy leaves the room? And what do they make of that?
I'm guessing his mother's toys are talking the same way, and yeah, let's not go down the 9-gag route of Toy Story bad puns.
That's what it's like.
They're potentially offensive.
Yes. So anyway, if you're in the Nottingham area and you fancy some Barnesboring or just Britconning, then it runs on the 11th to 13th and Barnesboard tournament's on the 12th. So you can see it there. Get in, have a go.
Flashlight came out after when I was married. Well,
No, I mean, there is nothing offensive. Chill, that's the whole thing. I don't know. These Germans are very prudish.
I am. So, also, Crispin, fun fact for you, we call those a sailor's bride.
Oh.
Which I think is a rather romantic way of calling a flashlight a sailor's bride.
Sure. Whereas in the UK and Ireland, we all work on the principle that all sailors are gay. Because you spend all your time on board ship with other blokes.
Did we mention the butt plug gnome? Yes, I think.
Not recently. Actually, good news, everyone. Apparently I'd opened that twice. Why did I open that twice? Well, I don't know. Anyway, so yes. Filled with semen, probably. Soap.
Not at first, but later. Zoipin.
Yep. This is the one that I thought I'd opened up separately. I really need to fucking focus on what I'm opening. Anyway.
Why would you?
Well,
ruin fun.
That is more or less the entire reason. So I had been looking at it way back at the start of June when he was just starting, but I can't remember if I was looking at it here or just because I browse your projects when you sleep.
I think you kept it to yourself because I'm seeing this for the first time.
So this is specifically leaning into the Castle Fear Carpathian book, using a lot of the Gothic Wars miniatures and stuff like that to push the game into the 1850s rather than pure Silver Bayonet Napoleonics. So there's a whole host of things in here, as you'll see as you go down, from some of the Loup Garous, which are interesting, to say the least, to his actual warbands, who have a very witch hunter-esque feel to them. I really like the bear. He's got a bear behind as well.
And the thing that he's green stuffing, this is one thing that annoys me when it comes to first.
Well, anybody who uses green stuff to gap fill, that annoys me.
I can't be asked to do that, actually.
Multi-award winning. Sorry, go ahead.
Playing Moonstone.
You were saying something. Go on. Yeah.
Playing Moonstone at Games Workshop. Yeah, that would be nice.
Hi, Shay, by the way. I did see your message. Poopsie.
Multi-award winning.
But anyway, yes, you were saying.
Yeah, I never can be asked to fill gaps on fur. I just slap paint over it and hope for
I
the
can't
best.
be arsed to use green stuff to fill gaps because it doesn't do it. As you can see there, no harm, but that is shit gap filling. Go get yourself some Milliput. Yes, it's messy. I know it's messy. Will it hide the gap beautifully? Yes, it fucking will, 100%. Without any canting around. It's great in that respect. You can do all that you need to do. And if you really want to blend it in, use some acetone or polycement at a pinch. We'll do it acetone, isopropyl alcohol over the top. Fucking seamless. Absolutely seamless. It's beautiful. Well, I seen you earlier, but I didn't realize who you were. But that's hilarious now. Milliput is also dirt cheap. That is very true, Toros. So I'm pretty sure it's still £3 a fucking pack, and has been for the last 30 odd years. And after having experimented with super fine terracotta red, standard yellow grey, and black, I've come to the startling realization that they're all the exact same. Just buy the cheapest one you can find. It's going to get fucking primed and
I was
painted
going to ask, is it all the same?
I mean, if you're not going to be doing clever shit like painting it, then yes, there's probably a reason to have the black or the super fine grey one for porcelain. But otherwise, just get the standard yellow grey. $2.99 out Craft World, tear on. Where have you wandered off to? What are you doing? What's going on? Stop touching yourself. Ellie Pat. Oh, I've got a great story to tell you. I've probably told this one before.
Never mind, I forget it.
Okay. Well, I won't tell you anyway. Fuck you. So, years ago, Sparky in GW Belfast was putting together some miniatures for the store, and he needed to do some gap filling, and he was told to use Milliput, and so he was going, "Oh, how do you do that?" And so our manager Sean went, mix equal parts. So he mixed equal parts and then put it in the gaps and tried to clear it off and blah, 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 blah. Fast forward to the following day when it still wasn't cured. And we're going, how the fuck is this not cured? And what happened was Sparky had used equal parts of the same thing. So instead of using the resin and hardener, he'd mixed equal parts of resin and resin. So he took one tube out, mixed two bits together, and then just pushed it in the gaps, not understanding the purpose of a two-part epoxy. So we refer to that as pat-pat. I've used pat-pat, not milliput. Fucking genius.
Oh, God. And just when I thought there are things that are so simple and self-explanatory that you can't mess it up, somebody comes along and proves
Sparky was a legend. Anyway, yeah. So this is where it all started for me. The massive mob beast from Mercer Miniatures.
It's a very tired-looking model. He's yawning all the time.
I love that model to bits, especially the fact it's got no eyes. I keep looking at that for Night Stalkers to use as a Void Lurker instead of the Mantic one. I like the Mantic one, but I like that one even more, especially when it's half price. So it's just worth keeping. I've come so close to buying it on several occasions. It's like, I know I need to paint other things and do other stuff first. There's no need for me to buy another fucking beast.
You know what could annoy you horribly? If you had that model and somebody just put googly eyes on it.
Want to use them as butchers? Oh, I mean, it'd be nice as butcher if they were a third of the size. They are fucking enormous. As you can see there, I think that's an 80 mil round.
That's a good idea, Demon Sub. Add a lure like an anglerfish just over his head.
Weirdly, like the Adzi, that my tiny dead baby floating around in the things look like. So that's good. Anyway, but yeah, I Silver Bayonet's a really fun game, and I like the fact that people are taking it like Denzi and taking it off to Mexico, or Zoid Pinhead in this case, pushing it 50 years down the line and going, fuck yous, I'm in Transylvania with witch hunters, you bitches. I imagine is exactly what he said while flicking the V's. Because it shows I said at the time when it first came out, there's no reason why you couldn't push that all the way back to pike and shot, sort of early black powder stuff as well. So you could do some weird shit during the interregnum period. Oliver Cromwell's got witch hunters out everywhere because the world is a wicked place full of bastards and he needs to kill them and do some really fucked up stuff in England. I just think it's great. Indian Mutiny period would be good as well, yeah. Although that is, I mean, that's end of the century, so 70s. So you might have to come up with something for repeating guns. So you breech load rather than just being all musket or cap and ball type of things. But
I think Demon Sub has a point. You could turn Silver Bayonet into a Hammer Horror style game.
Oh, yeah, without doubt. I mean, it practically doesn't require anything. It's already pretty much there. You just need to source the miniatures and then just go nuts.
Yeah, you need a Christopher Lee and a
Peter Cushing. I have Peter Cushing with the War Games Illustrated sold one with the two candlesticks making the cross, the face melt.
Oh, grand!
It's a limited edition miniature. I don't know if they still have it for sale because they only make 500 of those, and once they're gone, that's it. But yeah.
Can you imagine a game with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee on the other side, just dodging in and out?
Fucking love it.
And then you need someone who's a talented voice actor to do a voice over the battle report with both voices.
Indian Mutiny is, I think it's closer to the 1860s. So if it's 1850s, it's late 1850s. But yeah, you could still do it. Just give everybody pork grease on their cartridges, and don't worry about it, Muslims. Move on. I'm sure this will not cause any problems. Oh no, it's mutiny. I think Bad Squiddo has that scope now. I don't think they do. I know they have one similar, but the War Games Illustrated ones are specifically 500 castings, then they smash the mold. Because otherwise, it's not limited. I go War Games Illustrated and I go show me your giants in miniature, and then that's probably the easiest way. Because sometimes they still have them. They still have Van Helsing. Oh, so if anybody wants to buy Van Helsing, there are 9 left. 500. They're there. They cost £4. Go for your guns.
Bad Squiddo, isn't that the lovely lady who did pouches at one time? Or am I?
Yes, Dice Bag Annie.
Oh yeah,
and Dice Bag Lady.
Yes.
Annoyingly, there are 2 Annies who both did dice bags, and I can't remember what their names were for their companies, but yes, Annie made dice bags, not to be confused with Annie who made dice bags.
Why?
Chuck Skipper and all who sail in you.
Yeah, it was just because Bad Squiddo
Oh, Bear's Head Mini. Oh, that makes more sense, Demon. Yeah,
that's Games
cool.
just had a little rant about how since Twitter is now called X, she's losing subscribers.
Who? What?
Bad Squiddo has an account on Twitter now known X. Mr. Musk has renamed it, and since the renaming, she's lost a not insignificant amount of followers.
Is that just because people are fed up with the crazy fucking South African lunatic?
I don't know.
I can imagine that. Oh, I know Cozy Dice and Bad Squiddo were the names of them, but one was called Dice Bag Annie and the other was the Dice Bag Lady before they had Bad Squiddo and Cozy Dice as their name. So it got very confusing when you see them at conventions and shit. But anyway, yes.
Why does she have a concussion right now, Jill?
Who's got a concussion? What?
Annie, obviously.
Oh, yes, just seen that.
Yes, Nick, I've seen that episode, and I laughed at every time when Peachy tried to address females the correct way, and she just stared at him. She fell over when she was on holiday, smashed a glass. Oh, that's not good.
Oh dear.
In case you're listening to this, Annie, get well. Hope your glasses are repaired by the time. Mm.
By the time you see this, high questioning mark.
If only we knew if there was a way to let people
There's
know about this
there's
happening every
no
Tuesday.
way to let people know or to contact them beyond them being here. It's terrible. Shame.
Well, we can't help it. Let's stumble into the next project, I say.
Yeah, let's do that. Sorry, I'm just scrolling back up.
Oh, no worries.
I don't need to scroll back up. I could just close that project, but otherwise, how will people know where I am?
Hello, Pete.
It's Pete.
Orcs and Goblins, the Old World, aka Warhammer Fantasy Battle, ambiguated.
Yep. So, Lovecraft 2020 has been doing some work on some orcs and a bit of orc artillery, which has been upgraded from something else. So it is a big fuck off mangonel looking onager styly bit of kit with a goblin wolf rider shield, orc standard top from I think the Black Orc Plastics, and a goblin infantry wicker shield adorning it.
Yep.
Which, you know, you've got to admire that. That's how you know it's orcs. Raid the bit box, stick them all over. George Hamilton. Oh, he was fantastic in the 2 episodes of Columbo in which he got beat. What? Columbo's fucking awesome. You know it.
I still got these orcs in my shelf, assembled, unpainted.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really nice paint job on them as well. I look, they're still on 25mm squares, like orcs should be. Before, I don't know if somebody has told people that things are going to be. I know GW have already come out and went, we're going to fuck all your base sizes because we hate you. I remember they said that in a press release, but I've seen one company has actually started doing odd size bases. So instead of 25 by 50 cavalry, they're 30 by 50. Or they may even be 30 by 60. But they've embiggened all the bases away from what Warhammer was, and I don't know if they have any information for this, or if they've just decided that GW will rip the piss after they've expanded the first base size from 20mm. Why not fuck every base size? And I mean, it's a valid point those people are making. It has to be said. No, it's not the Goblin one. Or at least not a Mantic Goblin one. Mantic only do one catapult in that style, and it's an undead one, and it's much smaller. That has all the looks of a big chunky fuck off lead looking thing from way back.
What I don't understand is why Games Workshop is ambiguating bases other than pure greed.
You have answered your own question.
WizKids miniature, it says, for the catapult.
There you are. Happy days. Look at that, reading the bit underneath. That's madness. Madness.
Sometimes there's information to be had. Who knew?
No, they've said that the old world won't be getting bigger because they don't want people to not buy Age of Sigmar. So they can't go to 40mm. So they're going to stay 28mm. He said in a high questioning voice, although the last sort of shit they've released was closer to fucking 30mm anyway. So that's why they took away a lot of stuff from Age of Sigmar. There were a lot of models that were already available, a lot of Lizardmen and Empire or whatever the fuck they called them. They called them something like City States, I can't remember exactly. But anyway, all of that went off the order form. So they could make the big new giant Empire figures for Age of Sigmar and stuff like that.
Also, I'm guessing there will be companies making movement trays for old base sizes just to have the actual size for miniatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's madness.
It's best just to ignore them. They do whatever they want to do. It doesn't affect me anymore, except occasionally I have to listen to 20 minutes of it on the weekender. But I let my mind go to a happy place and then just click through people's projects while nobody's looking. So it's fine.
Oh, I need to shout out Ben on this subject of
Yes.
Old World. kudos, Ben, for making a very nice article gathering all the information for Old World and putting it into one place for us to have a read up.
Don't encourage him.
Yes, I do encourage him to do
No.
good work.
No. No. He could have been writing interesting stories about Bot War or the multi-award winning Moonstone or all sorts of stuff. But there you go.
Yes, okay. So the subject could be a different one, but the way he works is good. Also, he actually started the terrain challenge.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. Madness. That'll never catch on. But anyway, yeah.
that'll teach him.
So there. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see how Lovecraft gets on with that. And once again, all the more impressive because he's a cat. So I mean, we've seen the pictures.
No opposable thumb.
No opposable thumbs. Yeah, still managing to knock that stuff out. So good times. I really like the work he's done on the skin tone on the orcs as well. And he does the same as me with the big purple lower lip. Just
I didn't notice. Wasn't there lower purple lip? Let's see again.
Yeah. I do the same. I was going to reach down, but it's currently in a box somewhere. There was an orc up there for fucking forever and a day, but it's been something I've done for a long time. It just breaks up the face. Just do
it does.
The lip in a purple color.
The only thing that I would like to suggest is goblin green base.
Oh no!
Yes.
Not when he's texturing and sticking flock on it. Black's fine. Black rim bases are all good.
I'm just too tired. I won't go into a rant today.
No, you don't go into a rant. You do you? If anybody wants to see, by the way, Josh over at Crown of Command did a video comparing the top 5 Goblin Green substitute paints, including the original GW Goblin Green, the Nostalgia range Goblin Greens, RB Painter, Vallejo, Modern GW. It's fucking great.
I mean, those are the things I love the internet for. It's completely pointless video.
Nothing pointless about that. You want to paint your Goblin Green bases, you need to know what Goblin Green to use. For fuck's sake. Anyway.
Goblin Green bases were a mistake.
The video, Demon. Yes. Just everybody's.
Why were they a mistake? I love them.
I mean, they may not have been a mistake, but they weren't. They weren't high up the list of things that people wanted.
Probably not.
Like it was a very different time. You have to remember, I think that was like the next step from the old school enamel toy soldiers. Because whenever I painted those, they used to get a base coat that was not dissimilar to Goblin Green, and it was top, sides, and bottom. You had to turn the model upside down and paint the bottom as well, because people really wanted that on their toy soldiers. Very weird. Anyway.
And so he drives us on to Ewok Kebab.
Yes, it's
the
kebab.
Knights of Ni.
Big old Ewok. So he's working on something for a game called The Domed. Not sure what that's about.
It's a game about R2-D2.
Oh,
starring R2-D2.
So all about the kit bashing for some sort of Frostgrave meets sci-fi-esque looking things. I just like this. I like this because for people who are unaware of The Doomed, which is coming soon, coming next week, if I can film the first fucking game. The idea is a company arrived on a planet out in space, raped the shit out of it for resources, brought it to a certain technological level. Aliens arrived, went, look at us with all our gear. And then aliens went, whoa, and all fucked off. The company left, and what was left was the bastardized remnants of high technology on a society that had only reached a sort of medieval level of technology beforehand. So they didn't really know what they were doing. And then the 5 dooms, their sins made manifest, are devouring the world. And in that, your little war bands are desperately trying to keep your shit together. And, you know, I'm surprised most of them haven't just eaten a bullet by now, but not everybody can afford a bullet, so that's probably why.
You know what this premise reminds me of? A medieval society with remnants of technology shooting things.
Yes,
Ewoks.
that makes
Caravan
sense.
of Courage.
Yes. Yes, it does. Makes sense.
We have Ewoks. Oh, wait. I have Ewoks.
Utini?
No, that's the other one.
They all look alike to me, short people.
Though, as we have known by the medium of Mandalorian, also very furry.
Very furry, which leads me to believe they're just Ewoks
In hiding.
in robes. Well, we all know, they're not indigenous to the planet. In fact, neither Ewoks or Jawas are indigenous to either of their planets. They were both seeded there by the Rakatans. So during the height of the Infinite Empire, go team. But yeah, so the idea behind the Doomed, apart from being Fraser-esque, is all about kit bashing. The guy who did it, big fan of kit bashing in Necromunda back in the day, took a break and then decided to write his own sort of game. And it was really an excuse to slam shit together and build their own force. So you can very much go nuts, which is what Ewok's done, which is why I really like it. From the huge Teutonic knight, great helms with massive boar horns on it, to the cigar chomping World War II American with a massive fucking maul and some sort of space rifle firing into the air, like a space Iraqi at a space wedding. Space is important.
Space!
No, nothing's better than hairballs. Nothing's better than hairballs. But yeah, so the initial gangs are great. I imagine these will all be the inheritor courts because they all look human with a shitty tech level. Yeah, they do. They're obviously not the aliens. They're not muto enough to be cultists. By the way, anybody in Disco will have seen that I threw a tentacled cultist in there that I did for novelty value. But yeah, it's literally a case of what have you got kicking around your house. Shay and John have been talking about playing it just off camera as a game type of thing because they're both intrigued by the idea of kit bashing, which is interesting because both of them are very keen on the old bricks and pliers, the old 3D printing.
Yeah,
but the fact they haven't gone, I'm just going to go and Google weird and then print it out. Like, I mean, the indie of the week last week, or not the indie of the week, the 3D printing last week, knuckle duster, knuckle bones, pig's knuckle. It's like a pig's knuckle eating a trough. No, but I mean, all of that would look perfect for the Doomed. But both John and Shay have gone, that'd be great kit bashing. Actually, John's gone, it'd be fun kit bashing, and Shay's gone, I've never done it before. I'm interested. So it has potential. It's just the free form expressionism of it all. You go, well, I'm going to do aliens, or I'm going to do mutos, or I'm going to do fucking space computers, whatever it happens to be. You can go nuts. It makes sense with John's broken printer. It's lying in one of the sets at the moment on the floor, looking awfully forlorn.
Well,
Killian came in going, could it be used for parts? And John just pointed at it and went, no. Good.
Well, I have to say, kit bashing is a very relaxing way of building miniatures because you're not following any guide.
I am.
Instructions.
Always.
You just wing it.
Oh, there's no winging it. Oh, life's too short to wing it on kit bashing. Everything needs to be very finely detailed in advance. Otherwise, I mean, what are you doing?
Kit bashing.
Nope. Fuck you. I know.
No.
Fuck you.
Thank you. Come again.
5 knuckle shuffle. That's the one. Oh, there's a beat 'em up. Who put that in there? Oh, Limburger. Well done, but it's been out for like almost 2 days now. I would very much like, oh, I'd like the green chicken to fuck off. Fuck off, green chicken, you massive plank.
Green chicken?
Yeah. Duolingo, it'll come to
Did
your house
you
and cut your throat.
forget to do your chores again?
Well, I've not forgotten, I just haven't done them yet. I'll do them after this.
Chicken comes after you. Chicken knows.
Yeah, well, fuck it does. It's a creepy bastard. So,
Yeah,
there's
this looks like this is going on forever. How many miniatures have you built, mate?
Well, there's certainly an extravagant amount of things in various forms and functions. Some could be minions, some could be gangs or crews or warbands or whatever the fuck they're called. I know he's printing a few big things which could be used for the horrors, and I will just say horrors are horrible.
Top miniature detected.
You know, that's how it goes.
Kajik has wares if you have coin.
I would just stay away from that.
It's perfect.
The lizard with the drums was great.
Just don't go pss, pss, pss.
Going full on bongo-y with it. Weirdly, because I must have a similar amount of random plastic kicking around, because I was looking at the Aztec set, going, oh, what can I do with this? That would be interesting. And I thought, best focus in some way. Try and focus.
Stay on target.
The amount Ewok's done in such a short amount of time is fucking outstanding, and there's a surprise for you when you get to the end that you won't expect, so that's always good.
A happy end.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
Are these official Krieg miniatures, or are these some...
No, that's Wargames Atlantic. That's your Space French with the Deathfields add-on pack with the pickle helm. It's not an Ewok Disco Party, and sadly for Crispin, it's not a lemon party either. Yeah, sad times. Sad times.
I'm not sure if I want to scroll all the way down now.
No,
that
you have to scroll all the way down, or I will cut you. Fuck's sake. Jesus.
You say that every week, and never you fulfill your promise. You never come over here.
I don't have to come over there. Do you have a letter opener? You like one of these posh people with like a tiny letter opener and you keep on your desk, or do you do what everybody else does, which is stick your finger in and then pull it across to open the letter?
Not doing that either.
You razor blades on the inside of a letter and post it to people you don't like, and they do that and slice themselves.
If I get a letter, I'm using a pair of scissors.
Pair of scissors? What the fuck?
Or I just rip the side off.
You fuck. Rip the side off. Jeez, I'm enough to fucking cover this in fucking razor blades. Oh my god, you're making so much more work for me.
We're getting there, we're getting there.
Well, North Star heads fit on Wargames Atlantic bodies. Very. You'll actually see some examples in here of both North Star heads on Wargames Atlantic bodies and vice versa. Even there's some Great Escape Games cowboy stuff kicking around as well, which is nice. And then I think when I did some kit bashing, I added some Mantic bits and pieces as well for novelty value. So I mean, there's a whole host of things. Look, big-headed dwarves. Zuckus. What?
Balloon?
Where the fuck are these tiny fruit flies coming from? There's no fruit in this room, you fucker. My brother doesn't live here. Classic. Anyway.
So this is going to be interesting now. Any second. Gallery 1.
Yes. Almost there. Gallery 1.
Slowly.
Creepy, catchy bunky. 3, 2, 1. And then nobody expects.
The Spanish Inquisition?
I get you, little flying fuck. I did not.
I must have missed it.
Oh, has something gone wrong with me? Because there is a Spanish Inquisition.
Well, Ewok could explain if he's still in chat.
I don't know. He could. I'm just going to do this, and then do this, and then do that, and then go here. Bush. It's gallery 6, matey boy.
Oh, we've passed them then. Oh, look, a nice little hand puppet. Where does that come from?
It's on the sprue for the Frostgrave Wizards. I think Big Davy had it. Well, Big Davy's mate had it because Big Davy's very small.
Where's my Frostgrave Wizardy box?
It's
Box!
behind you.
Come to me.
Wizards 2. There you go. So obviously the one on the right is Kerry Gillingham, the ugly one. Jimenez in the middle, Michael Palin, which means that's Biggles with the gingerbread sock pocket on the left. It is on the sprue, Dutch. That's where you get it from. I'm just saying. I'm not wrong. Fuck you.
Did he say Wizard 2?
Mm-hmm.
I think I only have Wizards 1.
Are they men? Do they have beards?
Yes.
It's the wizard ladies. No beards. But they have a gingerbread Frostgrave puppet.
I want a gingerbread hand puppet.
Yeah, I have one. You could have had one, but I think I sent them all to somebody else. I don't know where they are. They're not behind me. Oh, soap.
Now I need to buy another one of those.
I found the
Gingerbread
proof
man.
you booked the other day. Again. I put it over here rather than putting it back where I found it on the grounds. If I put it back where I found it, I'll forget where it was again.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
I'm aware of his work. So, yes. I have to say, the Devourer that's coming from Ewok is amazing. Obviously, people in the best house will have seen that. Peasants will have to wait. But if you're interested, check that out. There's a lot more going on with Ewok than I could be arsed doing. I've had a lot of, there's been a lot of time fucking painting stuff, building shit, only for multiple fucking recordings to be fucked. Fuckery. Fuck. Fucks.
Stargrave! Battle Ducks.
Yes. I thought while in the kit bashing mood, Douglas the Fugless, who had been working on this a long time ago with a whole host of duckery, has decided to go back and do some more ducks. And as Leonardo DiCaprio said, I've been down for a duck all week.
I have seen lately somebody on the Instagram painting Primaris beaky helmets as ducks.
Why not?
And they made a whole chapter about being ducks, and the chapter symbol is a slice of bread.
Sure.
And it's painted on the shoulder pads.
Remember that time Howard the Duck fucked Marty McFly's mum?
Oh, yeah. However, did that get past age control?
Well, because nobody really cares about Howard the Duck, I think. That's how that got past it. Anyway.
Yeah, but just think of how a duck penis looks like.
Yes, well, if you want to get a cork out of a bottle, they're sorted. But when we first visited this several years ago, and again, may or may not have been us, I think you may have got a gun button, but similar to what Ewok's doing, it's a whole host of batshit insanity from Duck in the I've got these models and I'm going to put them together. And even though these
nobody can stop me.
Yeah, you can't stop me. You can't stop any of me. So it was done for Stargrave, but a lot of this will work perfectly for the Doomed And there's some really interesting things. Look at that. I mean, that's some sort of Highlander fucking Fedakeen right there. The man-child is strong. Oh, he will have sanctuary in my tribe. Fuck yeah, Everett McGill.
Didn't he die?
He is, like everybody else involved in Twin Peaks, dead.
Oh.
That is 100%. There's nobody left alive. All dead. It's shocking. Don't look at the amount of people who died around the release of the third season of Twin Peaks. It's just fucking outrageous. Just everybody was either dead before it released or shortly after it aired. It's fucking madness.
They all wanted to make sure that they can't be recast for a 4th edition or reboot.
Oh well, there's never going to be a reboot. In fact, there's no way David Lynch would let them reboot Twin Peaks. I mean, considering his contempt for people watching stuff on their phones, you know.
Is he not a fan of that?
No, he is not. There's a fantastic rant with David Lynch just going, "Fuck off! You say you've seen it, watching it on your phone, and you're not fucking seeing anything, you fucks."
Yeah, that's something I always very much wondered. Why would anybody do that?
I have no idea. Children, they're all children. I seen somebody asking for a guy to post something. I go, but you can see it there. And he's going, yeah, but on my phone I can't see that. You go, the fuck are you watching on your phone for, you turd? For fuck's sake. Unless you're in prison. If you're in prison and you've had to take your phone out of your prison pouch to watch whatever the fuck it is, then I can understand why you may not have a larger fucking monitor available to you, because they're difficult to insert. For fuck's sake.
May I interject? You can actually have a projector the size of a small phone, and you just need the wall, so you have a bigger picture.
Oh. Just get somebody to turn over. Touch your ankles. I just have the idea of, the screws are coming, and then somebody having to suddenly stand up and pull up their pants. Just a glow emanating from their buttocks.
And some weird videos playing on the ground.
Yeah, it's all good. Don't put an iPad in there, you're right. No. But anyway, yeah.
It's an eye patch.
Duck stuff, lovely as well. But I like the overall ducky theme running through a lot of that, because I don't think they ever envisaged that alien face to be a duck when they first sculpted it. But by far, it's Doug run with it, and it's great.
That's why you show stuff to different people outside your normal target group, to have something like that happen.
Don't need to. Look at that. Look at him. Look at him, big old duck-like.
I still think there needs to be a slice of bread somewhere.
That's how you distract him, and therefore don't get killed up. Oh my Christ. Sorry, I'm just having flashbacks to some of the horrors that we faced in The Doomed.
Somebody threw a loaf of bread?
Oh, let's not even talk about it. Let's just move on with our lives.
Yeah, let's go to a nice little relaxing project.
Yep. So, somebody else who's gone quackers.
Almost Silent Bob did rigging.
Yes, this shows you just how bad rigging puts you, because not one picture is in the same orientation as the picture beside it. They're fucking in every state. That's what rigging does to you. Listen, kids, rigging, not even once. Not even once. If you don't speak to your cat about rigging, somebody else will. But this was a bladed sprinkling challenge. So they were getting a bit of the old Black Seas done, and for some unknown reason decided to do rigging. So
it does look nice, though.
They have a English fleet. I mean, does it look nice? It just looks like somebody's drawing lines all over your screen. That's all it looks like. Some seals on there. Have some dignity. The most important part, it's not. I mean,
don't rile him up. The effective dice.
It's an outrage. And now he's not going to be able to get any of the seals on because he's got fucking lines going everywhere. But if you want to do the whole floaty line ship things with the rigging, it's a nice little show off of it. I'll be interested to see where it goes because it's a relatively new project. So Victory's there along with the rest of the British ships. And I mean, they are striking in their ochre and black livery, for want of a better word. Is it livery if it's on a ship? Shippery? Could be.
Paint. It's paint.
Rigging is not necessary. No, you don't understand. You push the little ship around the board with your finger and thumb. Rigging's necessary on real boats where they require the lines to pull the ship. But, little tiny motley boats like this, don't need them. Your finger will do the same job. You don't rely on the wind. It's very, very, I'm just saying.
For your birthday, I'm gluing a bunch of rigging to a round base.
Fucking you do you. You do you. Good luck finding my birthday. But yeah, I'll be fascinated to see because I've seen some stuff from Almost Silent Bob before. I don't think it was boats before though. Oh, what was the other thing he did? It might have been a cleaning project. Anyway, so relatively new, floating around doing stuff on the site, but I'm curious to see where that goes. Will we see full fleet? Will we see the old boats all twisted up with their sails and stuff on? And more importantly, what's he going to use for the other sails? Because with the best will in the world, the Warlord pre-printed cardboard ones are shite, which is Irish for shit. So, as Gilligan.
Thank God you translated that for everybody in the audience.
So if you're going to go to the hassle of putting the lines on all your boats, then I would be tempted to say it would almost be worthwhile doing something else for the sails. I know we looked at somebody recently where they'd done 3D printed sails actually unfurled, so you didn't have to make sails and glue them onto the masts, because Warlord either come with nothing or come with a furled sail tied up. And so this person just went, fuck that, I'm not doing that. Let's sculpt a set of masts with sails open on them, and then you just print them out and glue them in place of the plastic ones. I think it's the biggest, it's not a detriment. I mean, when you're putting ships together at that scale, don't bother with fucking thread and just stick the cardboard sails on and go nuts. But they do not want to stay attached to those fucking masts, because every time I've moved one, you get a little ding, and like a corner will come loose. And it's like, for fuck's sake, because you're attempting to glue card to something, and there's no glue point. You're literally having to glue fractions of a fucking millimeter on. It's just
it's a literal contact point, not a surface.
Oh, it's a bastard. But it'll be interesting to see. Maybe he'll do something clever. I'm still trying to find PFT plumber's tape in a thicker gauge, rather than, because I mean most of it's like 6mm, and it's really thin and really flexible. If I could find it at like a thick, width, like a plumber's PFT silicon tape, it's just fucking like 3 or 4 centimeters wide, that would be amazing for making flags and all sorts of stuff, because it's just so thin and flexible. Anyway.
Doc Dedigan has concluded miniature assembly is 2% clipping, 3% gluing, and 95% mold line removal.
That's correct. That is more or less bang on.
But that only counts for miniatures that come in multiples. If it's one single piece, it's just clipping and mold line removal. And if it's a metal miniature, you usually don't even have the clipping part. So you're just removing mold lines. 100%.
That's why metal's great. You don't have to clip. No clipping, no gluing, one-piece metal. Just spend your time buffing it gently with various grades of wire wool. It's very relaxing. It's very zen.
If there's metal, there's quite a bit of filling. Not if it's a one piece.
I think it means filing there, not filling.
Oh, filing, yes. Could also.
Oh, but 3D prints have got those hundreds of little tiny dots from where you have to remove the spots. It's worse. So much worse, Pete. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Print lines.
Oh, it's like a porcupine's attacked you. Oh, Jesus. Anyway. So,
Fraser. What's he doing?
Has been doing some more work on the sci-fi goodness that is Infinity, along with some Poor Dead Bastards, which I think are probably objective markers. Because, I mean, why else would you have Poor Dead Bastards? But
Decorative pieces?
yeah, but I mean, you just throw those on the table. You don't need them to be on some sort of like 25mm base. It's probably part of the ITS. The Soap could tell us if he cared, but he doesn't care enough about us. He hates us.
Oh, look, there's some.
Oh, they're for Defiance. Poor
people.
Dead Bastards are for Defiance. Okay.
Very flattened.
I only ever got a chance to look at Defiance as a prototype, so there was, a modicum of pieces for it. Fuck the what? Oh, he does say it's ITS objective markers. Now there's only one thing to do. Soap and DD must fight it out. Fight. I liked it. I just didn't like it enough to back it on Kickstarter, which I know is unusual for me. I just have too much stuff coming. Not everything can be made by Boris as well. So, but yeah, so a whole host of objective markers and bits and pieces like that. The Shivasti, I really like because of the
Striking paint.
The pink and cerulean blue. Oh, tiny fucking fly. It's very manga-esque. It's very anime. That two-tone. I did a load of models like that with the idea of doing like a black oil to blend them together to get me a really high sci-fi look, and then I couldn't be arsed, and I used an acrylic and ruined them, and now they've all got to be stripped. They've been up there for so long, but when they weren't oiled, or rather when they weren't blackened, they were just that two-tone, that pink and black like that. They looked fucking tremendous, and I'm very much these days getting into the idea of bare minimum effort for me. So
maximum output.
1, 2, 3, 4. We declare a thumb war. Fuck the wanker. It could be. Pete, could be. It's something like that. It's internet thing. What the kids do. It's very difficult to understand what they're talking about. Like occasionally they say BRB, which means big red ball, because they've been sitting in front of a monitor for too long and they're going to go outside for a bit and play with a big red ball in the outside world. These are some of the things I've learned about the internet.
Yes.
That is what it means.
I'm pretty sure that it is.
Yeah, 100%.
It is a lovely project, this.
Yeah, I mean, there have been bits and pieces kicking about for various Infinity bits for a while, and I like how the color palette is themed / adhered to for a specific faction. So you get your, Adriana types in a very, grim and gritty, down and dirty, muted palette, and then you'll hit something like the crazy alien Shivasti, and they go, all right, fucking all bets are off. I've got all the neon here, and I'm going to use them. So that's for baboons.
This one reminds me of Wolverine for some reason.
Is it because in Wolverine he was attacked by Sabretooth, and that guy looks like Sabretooth? So does that remind you of the guy who attacked Wolverine? And therefore you
No, it actually reminds me of Wolverine.
Right.
Yes.
But he looks so much like Sabretooth. Wolverine's Danny DeVito. That has Wolverine. If you see a Danny DeVito model, you should be going, that reminds me of Wolverine. What? He should be about 1 meter 50 and like about 1 meter 40 wide, and then just hairy. Just hairy, little black hairy man coming at you.
Oscar Cobblepot.
Yes, very much so. So yeah.
I need to watch that movie again.
The Batman Returns.
Yeah, and also Batman.
Bat. Like Joe Pesci. I mean, Joe Pesci's possibly more active if we had to recast Wolverine. I mean, Joe Pesci or Danny DeVito. Danny's more accurate. Joe possibly is less likely to have a heart attack doing it, but not by much. They can de-age him these days. It's amazing what they can do.
Or,
smear the de-aging all over his face.
Or you could make both act them and just cut the scenes the way that the actor is changing with every scene. So
Tom Cruise would be small enough, but Tom Cruise, alas, is not ugly enough. He's a little brutish imp. He's a little hairy knob goblin fucking around the place. You don't want a handsome man. Just say. Yes. These are important things.
Speaking of handsome.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
See. Lizards.
Yes, this one I picked for two reasons. One, Radagast will cut me if I don't. But also, he has a very similar color palette to what we've just seen for the Shrivasti. And I like the fact that we've gone not only back in time, but also into another genre. And yet we still have somebody going, you know what's great? Pink and blue. Vivid pink and cerulean blue. It's the way I want to go. That's what I want to do in life. And you'll see it on some of these sprues that he's been painting up, and it's fucking great. Perfect fit would be Noel, yes. 100%. Who apparently still exists. They may or may not bring him up to Coleraine some week to show me. So that'd be good. So, some interesting bits going on here where Adrian has been using a whole host of toys to make a bucket load of big dino monsters for his tabletop. I'd like you to note the Dead Zone / Warpath connector sprue bits. Those are as rare as hen's teeth when you buy a set of fucking Mantic sci-fi. You don't get a huge amount of those. And yes, he's decided he has so many that he can just piss it all up the wall to make the back armor / platforms on the back of his dino
Color
blocks.
scheme makes my eyes bleed.
Color scheme's great. Look, no, look at it. Look at it. Pink and cerulean. They're just like Shrivasti, but they've got massive obsidian weapons. Fucking go nuts, lizards.
Yeah, going nuts. I think that's the point here. Jeez,
I wouldn't say no, Dan. You know, could be that, but it's good times. Good times are happening.
Driving around in his taxi with inflatable sex dolls to count as having passengers. Oh my giddy aunt.
Yep.
Is that what working at Games Workshop does to you?
Pretty much. So yeah, it's nice seeing this. I don't know if Adrian's doing this for himself. I know his daughter is very keen on playing with the Tiny Fighting Men as well. So potentially this could be a collaborative effort. But if it's not, fucking go nuts. You do you, Radagast, because this is sweet to the beat. Oh, Noel Evans is doing it. Oh well, won't worry about it. Arno would probably have as well, mind you.
Yeah, this is
I
This
hope.
is something different.
I really hope. Is Candace one of those real dolls, like a proper sex doll? He used to use his taxi to dodge traffic on his commute, and that's why he had the sex doll in the back. Oh, fair enough then. I don't think that's one of the inflatable ones. That looks like one of the expensive ones.
I'm not clicking that.
You're not clicking the link. Well,
Nah.
we would have expected your expert opinion on whether it was a £2,000 or £5,000 sex doll compared to a £25 blow up one.
Nah, I'm good. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Shame.
Let's move on. Please.
You're not fun anymore.
I never was fun in the first place.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Dun dun dun.
Kader of Vesmeukus. Refresh. Good
Yes.
Goth.
Only a brief one.
Unexpected prize winning.
Yeah, they didn't expect to win.
They didn't expect the Spanish Inquisition either.
Well, neither do we, but we know they were in Gallery 6 now, so at least we can find them in future. However,
Colourful.
Yes, the basing plan is to go lean into the colour, and there's a whole mood board there, which I like the idea of, particularly because anybody who's ever based, and I do this, and it's very telling. Whenever I look at basing, I tend to look at daylight under, natural noon o'clock light. Sun's coming in from above. There's no color distortion. But the thing is, the mood board there, the inspiration board, there's a few where it's, red sky, red ground, saturated type of, late at night, dusk, early morning, wildfire, roads, island, whatever, which changes up how those desert areas look substantially. And when you think you're doing an alien world, not going for a standard noon o'clock green desert plants with dirt leading into the weird colors, that has a lot of potential that I hadn't considered before for inspiration and effect. Actually just going, you know what, I'm going to do this strange, reddy orange looking thing.
It's a bit like Mars.
Well, I mean,
a wee bit.
The second from bottom left is a wee bit like Mars. On the ground it's all brown, because we know Mars is brown now.
I thought that would be Mexico then? Brown filter?
No, Mexico's got the yellow filter over everything because it's all about the lemon party. I thought you met Crispin.
No, I never met him, sadly.
Oh dear. But
at least
if you think about how many times, especially if you start looking for pictures of landscapes, but search for dawn, dusk, night, those rather than just searching for the standard daylight images, they have some really interesting looks and color combinations that you wouldn't ordinarily think about putting down on a base of a miniature. And that, for alien worlds, opens up a whole avenue that I hadn't thought of beforehand. So yes.
Live and learn.
I think so.
And yes, Manda, you go way too much into detail on your mud bases that sometimes look like chocolate cookies.
There's a lot to be said about mud. Mud's good. I mean,
cookies.
it's not as good as peat, but you can have everything. So I was watching a thing from the about the. So yes, and they were talking about a peat bog body that they dug out, and it was so well preserved. When they first dug it out, a man went to the police and admitted he'd killed his wife and dumped her there. Now it turned out the bog body that they'd found was close to 5,000 years old. But it was nice to know that he'd killed his wife. So that was good.
Imagine what went through his head when he got to know, yeah, we found a body, it's not...
Found a body, found a very well preserved female skull. Not your wife, you understand. We've not found her yet, you fucking psychopath. but thanks for letting us know and getting you off the street.
Oh,
What you
imagine,
call it? Oh,
imagine how much you would want to kick yourself.
who'd you call them? They're one of the fucking Charles set them up before the Cromwell appeared. Gresham College. It was one of the Gresham College lectures about pagan and prehistoric Britain specifically, and he did a whole lecture on stuff they'd found in around bog bodies and pagan worship in Britain. So it's fascinating. If you like that sort of thing, you should definitely check out the Gresham College stuff. So that was very good. It's the peat bog in particular is Lindo Man. So they pulled out Lindo Man, and then subsequent to that, they found two other bodies, one of which was female because they got the head and part of the skeleton. But yes, so anyway. Peat in Ireland, and it appeared in geological terms very quickly, and they can't work out where it came from. Yeah, I mean, I imagine in many respects it was just bored shitless with the weather. It's just dirt that's been very bored with Irish weather. That's what peat is, I imagine. I mean, nobody can disprove me on that one. But yeah, if
speaking of about things that are in the past,
yes,
when do we see your hobby on museums in the overseas?
I mean, I can't imagine you ever will, because you know Warren gets very bored when anybody who's not him is talking. So instead, you get to hear about aliens again. That's how that works.
Okay.
Good times.
So where do we go?
If I help, I've got loads of really good reference photos for me. So sweet.
So where do we go now?
Dun, 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 dun. We're going to have a look at Night Runner.
Sharp Practice.
Yes. So Sharp Practice is obviously a terrible game with random movement, which for some unknown reason is played by people. But if you ignore that, these are 1/72 minis or 20 mil in old money that he's been putting together for playing his game in a smaller scale, which is really nice. So I imagine a lot of these, based on what I'm looking at, are the sort of your Atari hat, Airfix, that style of 1/72, the soft plastic, cheapest chips minis. And I think a lot of people overlook them, especially when you're looking to get into a new period. Everybody thinks, oh, I've got to have the shiniest, newest models that look the most realistic. And you go, well, what if, and hear me out here, what if you just spend a tenner on buying yourself 3 boxes of stuff and trying it, see if you like it. And if you want to scale it up to 28 mil and spend a fortune on it, fucking you do you. So there's that. But interesting little project, chucking money around on the terrain, because Hecky is not cheap, but Hecky is some of the best.
Yeah, but he says he has it since 2008, so...
Well, that's at that point it's a fucking cost saving. But even if back in 2008, it would have. I'm just going to say the Hecky stuff probably cost more than the miniatures did. I'm just saying it.
Yeah, I'm not going to debate that fact. That's pretty much true.
Oh, they are quality. They do obviously a scale of price points where some of it is relatively cheap and a bit less realistic, and then you've got the really good stuff.
I very much like the way you painted the fences looking old.
Yeah. It's not white pickety. It's they've been out there doing their job for some time, and it's a really substantial piece of coverage for your tabletop, especially if you're doing American Civil War. So much of it was across fields and farms, so you do have very delineated fence lines and hedge lines, more so than even things like the English Civil War, where there's a lot of hedges going on, but possibly not as many fences kicking around. Like he's got hay bales. Those I think are probably anachronistic. I don't think they would have been baled in that style. They probably were still hay stacking it at that point.
Yeah, I guess.
But we'll not worry about that. But I mean, overall, the look of it for a bunch of cheap plastic boxes, they look fucking cracking.
Yeah, it's a nice one. Also, square bases.
Yes. Oh, I mean, like nature intended. How else do you know who's front and who's back and where's your flank is? If you're having to deal with a fucking round base, and all of a sudden you've got little lines painted on things, and then you're having to get out a laser pointer, and it's just not worth your while. Just not worth your while. Giant haystacks. Yes. Not to be confused with Big Daddy, whose daughter was, of course, Bonnie Langford. She'll scream and she'll scream and she'll scream until she's sick. What?
Original Airfix figures were ever listed as HOO scale. Is that a scale used by owls?
Best not to encourage them in the chat. I find.
Great one,
Just let them talk between themselves.
Ooh, scale. Ooh. Every time Lloyd now starts talking about trains and is mentioning HO scale, I'm going to go, ooh.
Well, why not? Why not do that?
Oh, God. I'm so fucking tired.
I mean, can't bring him anywhere.
Nah, that's why I'm staying at home. Thanks to the miracle of internet.
Sir Pollard would have been better than Bonnie Langford. Seriously, Damon, wash your mouth out.
Tomato Ketchup was a wrestler? The fuck?
I see where he's coming from.
I don't want to know. So, speaking of coming, what's
Look,
coming
Jeff,
up
you're
next?
still here, by the way. Look.
Who?
ACW. Huh?
American Civil
ACW.
War?
Huh? Just in case Shay's still watching. I don't know if he is. He may have run off. He may have got bored with us.
Run away as long as you can.
Really, seriously, we need to play some stuff. Need to play some 6mm ACW.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, you should be starting soon-ish.
We should. Yes, we should. I might get bored tonight and sink the rest of a bottle of Jameson's and order stuff. I'm just saying. Although I do have to be up in the studio tomorrow to refilm the fucking first game again. I've only got like a third of that bottle left. Not even, probably a quarter. It's not even enough to get me drunk, for fuck's sake.
Toros is doing flat pack, people.
Yes, so
I've seen him showing off his stuff.
Yeah, but he's not doing it in the best house, so I've not really been paying attention.
You missed.
So, started this a while ago. Obviously, Soldiers of Rome by Warwick. Fun little system. Don't think you can get any more, or they were selling the last copies of it. So, which means once it's gone, unlucky. I know Soldiers of God, you just can't get. The Crusade version is fucking gone. So when Soldiers of Rome disappears, but the fact that they're doing this with YFun might mean a reprint via YFun. Haven't a clue. Well, I mean, the rules, the fact that you've got a battle plan and specific setups for both sides is just really cute. I like it. But he has been basing bits and pieces in the meantime. Now, I do know that he said, fuck's sake, these bases are all wrong. And then I've seen other bases listed. Should I just take these off these bases and order the other bases and then do them again from scratch? Hopefully he won't. Where's your current thought on that one, Steve? Is the slight difference or discrepancy in base sizes annoying you?
I mean, they look fine as is. Why change it?
The thing is, with Soldiers of Rome, he said, pulling out his copy and then deciding he can't be arsed because I'd have to lift too many things out of the way. It's like other multi-based historic games where you base on frontage, so it doesn't matter because all your measurements are based off the frontage of your miniatures, and they should all have a coherent standard base, even though they might be slightly different. Too much work. Fuck that. That is the correct thought. So even though there is a different base size available, those bases, because they're all the same width, mean they all work perfectly for Soldiers of Rome. You don't need to change anything. You just go, that is now my measurement, my so unit distance is all based off that frontage, which is, I think, 30 mil. I have quite a few fucking Wi-Fi miniatures kicking around here on those bases, none of which are to hand, so I can't be arsed. But I would love to see this actually being played out.
Is there any reason why they don't get made anymore?
The books, because they were privately published by Warwick, or not privately, but they weren't commissioned by a company.
So self-published.
So Warwick got Soldiers of God published first, Tabletop Wargames Rules, Raids, Battles and Sieges of the Crusade, and they were published via Arcturus Games. And then he followed that up with Soldiers of Rome, which obviously is Rome plus several of their major competitors, shall we say. So they are rather, I wouldn't say restrictive, but can you do everything in this? No. You are limited to Republic and early Imperial, and you're limited to a couple of different forces against you. So Gauls are there, and Dacians, I think, are there. Is it Dacians or Sarmatians? Might be both, actually, to be fair. Could mix them up. Fuck them.
I mean, I get why you can't do, or why you would stop doing a book about the miniatures. I think, why wouldn't you stop?
Oh, nobody stopped doing the miniatures, but then nobody did miniatures for these. These games do not contain miniatures. These games, you have to supply your own miniatures. For example,
okay, so I misunderstood you. The flat pack miniatures we are seeing are actually still available.
Oh yeah, they're still available, but the rules may be going away. Especially, I'm not sure who published Soldiers of Napoleon, but it's a completely different size. I remember that. I remember being quite annoyed by that in my review. The fact that they went from this little A5 book to like a big fuck off A4 book, and I'm still annoyed by that. It may not be the same. It may not be Artorias. Yeah, Soldiers of Rome is still on there, but when they run out, will it go away?
Potentially.
Your next thought was 4 bases equals 60 by 40. No, that they suggest the standard 40 mil square for 28 mil figures, but then because everything is based off unit distances for movement and range, it doesn't matter what you base them on. So you just play. Presumably those are those 18s? I hope they're 18s. 18s are great. Because if that's the case, then you just play on a smaller board. Just DBX it. Go a bit L'Art de la Guerre style.
Be a responsible adult. Make up your own things.
Who? What? Who? What? How very dare you? Responsible. I've never been so insulted in my life.
Oh, thank God I achieved something.
You fuck. We've 2 more projects to look at. If you're not going to distract us and then fucking slide off into the night.
2. Yes, you're right. 2.
Yeah. The last one is my Gresham College YouTube channel, and I don't even know how you can see my screen to know that I've got that open. But anyway, yeah. Looking forward to seeing the old Let's Play chucked out there. So that'd be good.
Whimsical fantasy miniatures.
So this is from a day Montaub, probably French. But started as the Northumbrian Tin Soldiers Nightfolk range, and then has added other stuff to do a lot of shit. Now this, it must be pointed out, is not the Great Spine Dragon what you can buy off the eBay from the Games Workshop. This is an Edworm from Oakbound Studios. Now, to be fair, they probably come in about the same price on eBay because they about have the same rarity. Every couple of years, whether he needs to or not, there will be a recast of the Edworm, and you can get it again. And then you just have to sit back and wait for it to come back into stock if you miss it on that occasion. I absolutely love this model. I have most of a Great Spine Dragon body. I got one years ago.
Most?
Well, I got rid of the front neck and head and replaced it with 9 Serpentine Dragon heads to make it into Hydra in what, what for anybody else would be a prohibitively expensive Hydra before Games Workshop made one. But for a GW staff member, it was like $375, so fuck it. So I've got one of those kicking around. They do, like the Great Spine Dragon, somebody at Games Golden Demon one year made wings, and everybody went, that's amazing. So there is a winged variant of that Aidworm or Adworm or whatever the fuck it's called. It's probably an Aidwyrm. Anyway, you can get wings for it if you want, which is, I think, is really nice. But there's a whole host of unusual fantasy things in there, including Gotchgat and Noel the Troll for
the multi-award winning game Moonstone.
Correct. Well done, son. You get to live. Yeah, you can get the optional wings from Oakbound. It's good. It's good times. So it's
free wee free man.
Yep, the Pixies
running on badgers.
All you need is don't forget they had a toad lawyer.
Yeah.
So you just need to get yourself a toad to use as some sort of wizard. And there's the Time Banditos.
I love these.
But it shows a lot of great little companies and how with a bit of representative basing, they all have that same style basing, some little seed poddy leaves and stuff on them, and it ties them all together, and they have that great fantasy look. There's the ogres. Poor old Mel. Anyway.
Oh, Sean. There's Sean.
Yes, not riding an owlbear though. You can have everything. Can have everything. So obviously coming up for the old Rangers of Shadowy Deeps, but hopefully some Games of the Woods as well will get a run out. You've a toad eating a fairy. I mean, it's a bit much, but you do you. You go there. I'll be interested to see what you think of the Woods. Because it has some unusual little mechanics like the casting runes. I know they sold runes at one stage, but you can do something similar by going and getting some pebbles and painting runes on them yourself. So, true though.
Yeah, this is very. I think. What did we have a devil in this project from Time Bandit as well?
A devil? I don't think so. We can get devil and Time Bandits.
With
there's
Satan.
There's the ultimate evil.
There he is.
But that's not Satan. That's the ultimate evil. He's different, special. Parafilm. Oh.
I love the fact that
Cheers, Orinoco.
The actor playing the most evil person possible in Time Bandits is also a bad person in Tron.
Well, yes, but I mean, he would be, wouldn't he? It's the master control for you. Fucking MCP.
No, he's not the MCP. He's the who's he called?
He is both. He is both Stark, and he voices the MCP because he's. And then he's obviously the person who stole Flynn's designs in the real world as well.
Yeah, see that's the trouble with
dubbed for
versions.
Yeah. Friends want to play Hail Caesar. Oh no! Just tell them it's a shit game for remtards who mums go to chippy in their slippers.
Orinoco says parafilm. That's the wider Plumbers tape stuff.
Yeah. PFT, Teflon tape. We need a battle report of that. Yes. I would love to see a battle report of the Time Bandits running through the middle of a Hail Caesar game. Fucking love it. Obviously,
have
just report on what you're doing, because I couldn't give a fuck about Hail Caesar. I don't have a 27 long fucking table.
Have the Time Bandits deep strike somewhere in the middle of the board, in the middle of the game, and just, wow, we're not wrong here. Where's the next exit? Let's go that way. Wouldn't that be something you could do on a convention? Just show up at anybody's gaming table, put down some Time Bandits.
I mean, you'd probably get lamped at a lot of conventions, but if you'd arranged beforehand so that players didn't know that the Time Bandits were going to come scuttling in, do something weird, steal a cannonball or fuck over your general and then fuck off again, it could be a lot of fun.
Oh, I think you could implement that in a game in such a way that on this tournament you need to roll on a D10 on a table, and on a 10 random things happen, and if you roll snake eyes, judge come up and just plonks some Time Bandits in the middle of your game, running around stealing objectives.
As long as people know before they arrive that weird shit will happen, I think most people are open to it. It's when people expect to have a serious game of something and all of a sudden something kicks off.
A serious game of 40k?
Oh, it doesn't even have to be a serious game of 40k. It could be a serious game of The Walking Dead. I remember we were playing at the boot camp, and I can't remember when it was. It might not have been the mass game, or it could have been the mass game at the end where we were all running around the place and Sophia was doing her level best to live, and shit happened in that Ronnie just started going, it starts raining, now your guns work, all things, blah. And there was this Swedish guy who was freaking the fuck out. Every time Ronnie changed the rule or made shit up or went, that doesn't happen, you know, everybody's alive again. And he was just fucking triggered. And going, it was the most magical. I had more fun watching that Swedish fella's face for the weekend as Ronnie kept improvising and adapting the game that we were there playing than I did playing the game. And I really enjoy The Walking Dead. It's a great game. But that poor Swedish fella, I just thought, he was so aggressively Swedish. I thought he was German for a long time. For the first 2 days, I thought he was, this man does not brook any shit. He is here to learn a game. The game will be played whatever way the rules say. And Ronnie suddenly going, Meow! And doing something weird was just throwing him off completely. It was fucking class. If that's still online, and probably not because YouTube keeps deleting shit, but you should go back and look for him. He was short, stocky, and bald with a beard, if I remember correctly, possibly glasses. Can't remember his name. Don't know if he's on the fucking channel or what, if he still kicks around on the website. But it was hilarious. It was fucking great, especially that last mass battle game, because Ronnie was standing on one side of him when he suddenly goes, blah, blah, blah. The rules I've just told you to win have changed. It's now this instead, because he was about to win, and you could just see him about to fucking kick off. It was great. Oh, so good. Happy days.
Yeah,
yes, aggressively Swedish. The fucking tiny flies.
Walking Dead, you said.
Anyway, so yes. Lots of the Walking Dead bootcamp stuff has gone fucking. Fuck YouTube. I mean, YouTube, to be fair, if YouTube's still here next year, I'll be very surprised. After them sending out the letters to people going, you need to pay us to promote your stuff. I just go, well, that's not going to work. Should you not be paying people for the advertising that they're doing on your site?
Yeah.
And now you want them to give that money back plus more, or you're going to fucking shaft them. There's that guy who does the Right for Repair stuff, Lewis. I want to say it's Lewis Rossman, but I can't remember. Might not be. Anyway, that American fellow who's always banging on about the Right to Repair, he got sent a thing by one of his friends about. Essentially, they asked for $100 to promote his channel, and he has over 1 million subs, and he went from like 1.2 million views on his videos down to like 3,000. I was like, well, clearly something's gone fucking wrong here, hasn't it? Or YouTube have just gone, fuck you, until you pay us. people aren't seeing your shit anymore. So
Yeah, it's
oh,
odd.
Google's rich enough to keep it afloat, but the fact they're doing that, why are they doing that? If they're no longer paying people, if they're shadow banning, or if they're deliberately shelving your videos so people can't see them, people aren't going to stay on the channel. If they don't stay on the channel, they don't get the ad revenue. They've already had to go back and apologize to people who bought ad revenue, or people who
Because
bought
they
ads.
sold on false promises.
They told them that they were going to do this for their ads and then didn't, and put it in other weird places. And then people complained and fucking bitched about it. And all of a sudden, YouTube are in massive fucking problem in that if they go for a class action lawsuit because so many companies bought advertising and got fucked by YouTube on that one, it will be class action. There are so many people that they can all go, they fucked us. They broke the terms and conditions of what they said they were selling us, and then they give us a substandard sale that has just pissed people off. So that could cost them fucking hundreds of millions, if not into the billions.
I think I found the lad you were talking about just. Hang in there.
Does he have really dark rings around his eyes like he's fed up with dealing with New York?
I'm going to show you. Is it that fellow in the middle?
I mean, I could just go to YouTube and check.
Next to the handsome...
Oh, no, this one. No, that's Doug. No, it's not him. Look how fucking thin I was. Christ, that was a few years ago. Where did you find that? Sunday morning.
6 years. Yeah, I was just searching on
Holy shit. But on the other hand, though, the guy right beside me with his arms crossed, that's Radagast. So we've already looked at his pink and purple lizards. No. Pivot camera. Pivot. This has got nothing to do with Lewis and YouTube, mind you. See? Makes sense, TD. Dawn. Pivot, 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 pivot. Look at him with his relentless. That'll cause you problems down the line, matey boy. You'll end up with a heart attack. Good times. I swear to God, he must be behind the camera. Is the camera going to pull? It's not going to fucking look around, is it?
I don't think so.
I'm impressed you even found that, to be brutally honest.
Well, I just went to the YouTube channel of ontabletop.com and searched for Walking Dead Boot Camp.
That'll never catch on.
No, it won't.
No.
Speaking of catching on, multi-award-winning game of Moonstone done by Laughing Boy, who is currently somewhere enjoying good weather.
Could be. So, not in the UK then, and not in Southern Europe, because that's on fire. So, somewhere in between. Nice. Nice is nice. Is that how that works?
I don't know.
The only thing really to show people here is the battle report, because you've not been there. I've been here for the done for now again, and I thought we were. However, it does play a learning game of Moonstone if you're unaware of it. You get to see a hour-long or 55 minutes, depending on your point of view, video of Laughing Boy playing through a game from Moonstone Dice Drop all the way through. They don't play open hand, but they are quite, here's how the bluff mechanic works. He doesn't have to tell me what he got. I'm going to let it go through, and then showing off the cards and go, well, because it's a learning game, I'll tell you that actually I wasn't bluffing and I would have fucked you right up. It's heading him. So it's great to see not just the fact that all of Martin's work in painting the Moonstone stuff has been, justified in the gaming, but also the fact that there's an hour-long Let's Play there where you get to see how the game plays out as the La Chevalte. That's how they are called, the La Chevalte. Take on the Dominion, I believe Martin was using. So, like I say, it's a 55-minute video, so there's a lot to go through. Hopefully, Tim doesn't just skip to the end and show you who wins, because that would be terrible. That would be the worst thing he could possibly do. But if you're interested in the multi-award winning Moonstone, then that's a good place to go to have a look. Obviously, you can watch me play Warren. He doesn't mention aliens once during that Let's Play.
How
So
did
that
that
was good.
happen?
He was
Oh, I know
doped.
how that happened. Moonstone is weird enough to keep his brain occupied.
Is he in Warren's basement? No, not
No.
yet.
He has a nice hobby shed of his own, which is on surface level.
Basement-y. Full of basement-esque-ness. Baseosity. What did I say earlier that Shay told me never say again?
Jade, tell us.
Oh. I think it was penis. But I can't remember how it got there. Because it wasn't just a direct penis. It was like, it's full of pee. That thing's full of
Pen
penis.
is mightier than the sword.
Plenty of penis in there, type of thing. I can't remember. You'll find out in game 4 of the week, because that didn't get cut out. We just went with that. Shay just went, never say that again to me. Never say that out loud. But you know how you say that. Happiness type of thing. I can't remember either. But it was very much like a, like there's a lot of stabbiness going on. It was like that, except there's a lot of penis in there.
You sure you're talking about stabbing and not poking?
No. Well, we weren't talking about stabbing at all. We were talking about penis. It's not penisy.
So the upcoming game, undisclosed of its nature, is a big dick fest.
I'm dying to find out what happens in game 4. And I know, but I need to know how we got there. Oh,
I'm looking forward to this four-part video series evermore.
Oh, you and me both. I'd like to put I'm looking forward to our 4-part video series that required us to film 7 games to get fucking 4. I swear to God, I will kick off if anything happens tomorrow.
Just pray that nobody accidentally deletes files.
I will
Explode?
not figuratively, I will literally cut someone if they fuck with any of the files. Shay seen my face today. There was not a lot of joy and love going on there to other people.
Did he take a step back and try to bring some kind of furniture between him and you?
No, he was fine because he knew it was all directed elsewhere. It was good. Just go aggressively Swedish. Good day. Oh, I could do.
Like this, but with a beard. Yeah, and if YouTube wanted to know what we're laughing about, it's the Twitch chat, and you need to come over to Twitch on Tuesdays, 9 p.m. German time, 8 p.m. British Standard Time. Be there or be a rectangular thing. Though, obviously being rectangular couldn't be so bad, as bases that are square are the best, so quite a divergence there.
What is it? Som en stolle in Sordenfråga.
I beg your pardon?
Not quite aggressively Swedish, but we're getting there.
Okay.
Anyway. What can I say? At that point in the proceedings, I was very fucked off. Time will tell how fucked off I get. Hey, Soap, you there? Soap. Soap. You watched the Acheron's Fall video yet? Because I know you were interested. Curious.
What?
Curious.
Wakey.
Soap, curious. Have you seen the video yet? With the space things, the monkeys. I've seen somebody complaining that the board didn't have inserts for the fucking cubes. It's like, it's a fucking prototype, you fucking bell end. For fuck's sake, Jesus fuck. Go and kill yourself.
Why would you need inserts?
So you can put the cubes in, so if somebody accidentally knocks the board, it doesn't knock the cubes out of the way. I had questions. Feel free to ask questions. You can ask questions in the Ramon from Ramper Designs has commented on the video. You can ask him directly in that video if you want. What are the final models being made of? You'll probably definitely have to ask him. But when I had a chat with him The Zenit have been making the models out of metal for them. They have contacted somebody to make SEOcast models for Takuri, and he gave us a few of the early production / Kickstarter Takuri models, which is a little ninja sky hovercraft basically woman. I know Shay got one as well. They were like a Kickstarter bonus to test SEOcast. They look really nice. Obviously, they have the same problem SEOcast has, which is clean up can be a balls. They have not said, to my knowledge, because part of it comes down to production costs. So either metal from Zenit or SEOcast from this other company, some of that will come down to costs, timescales, and production. So that's one you could ask him in the YouTubes. He may give you an answer. I know they're off to Gen Con this weekend, so you might not get a quick answer. But the idea was this goes out this week, and then next week I think the Kickstarter launches, or end of the month the Kickstarter. He wanted these games out before the Kickstarter launches so that people could see it. So there's no answer yet, as far as I know, when I talked to him in June, as to what it's going to be. But I think it's going to be one or the other. I have a sneaking suspicion because of production costs for SEOcast, they're lower if you get enough people. If it's a small target, it will be metal. That would be my idea. The resin prototypes they had were really fucking nice. Really fucking nice.
Yeah, SEOcast is a bit of a big spec.
I will dig out. I did take a few pictures that I shouldn't have. I'll dig them out and stick them in the House of Water #BestHouse. Because I've been sitting on these for so long, despite the fact that I may have chucked them up into a weekender one week, going, I can't talk about these. I really like it. I like it. I like the system. I like the thing. I seen somebody bitching about in fact, it was the same cunt who said the prototype needed fucking inserts for the cubes. He was also complaining about the way the game played, going, it's very slow. I want lots of shapes. And you go, well, fuck yeah, is my answer to that one. Also, he didn't understand because it wasn't stripped down rules. The only thing we were ignoring was additional activation, like trick card type things. Like your captain can suddenly do something that they normally wouldn't. But apart from that is the standard game, just missing the additional card deck that allows to flip initiative orders and shit like that. I really like it. I really like the vectored movement. I really like the combat. I really like the energy and crew allocation, because it's not you're a fighter pilot, it's your commander on a ship. You're Kirk. You're the one going, we need power to there. We need to do this. We need people to go and fucking shore up the damage in X, Y, and Z. So I don't think it's a game where you need to have dozens of models aside. It's like good BattleTech versus new BattleTech Alpha Strike. You can either have a good game, or you can just have a generic big bots punch each other and it's very dull. And I'd rather have a good game. So, no, they're not. But yeah, people look at this all the time. Oh, that looks like a complicated game and I want fucking 15 fleets. Well, why not fuck off, buy some WizKids fucking models, you prick. Go and get fucking X-Wing and some fucking pointy rulers and some shit D8, you bellend. And then go and play in traffic afterwards. Fucking
and X-Wing isn't fleets either. It's just 2 or 3 models.
Yeah,
so.
But but no, I don't play much / any Infinity, despite having 4 fucking factions for it. Maybe someday that'll change. But I think I'm going to back the Kickstarter because I'm a whore for vectored movement. I love full thrust. I love Babylon 5. And the fact that you can do it in a bigger format and have the energy allocation on the dashboards and stuff, just going, fuck it, all power to weapons and limited power to fucking maneuvering, because we're already going in the right direction. Let's hope the cunt doesn't fucking suddenly swing around or I'll be balls.
have you any details on how much the game will cost that you can share, or is this still
Oh,
NDA?
I have no idea.
Oh, shame.
Having a fucking clue. Because he was Ramon was literally still talking to people. So
they're still figuring out what the product will actually cost.
Because he was over early June. Yeah, we literally got the studio set back up from UKGE, and he was in the next day. He arrived the day we were still rebuilding the studio, so it must have been the first week in June. So he arrived that evening, and the next morning we were still running. I was running cables through the fucking roof like a bastard, going, "Oh, I hope these cameras work." So yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Kickstarter then.
I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it'll go well for them. I imagine it won't, because people are pricks and they just want to go into Walmart on a fucking tricycle and fucking buy something shit and then just play something shit. It's just, I fucking hate them. I fucking hate people so much. Why are people still out there? Why has somebody not done something about it? I mean, Putin's trying his best. He just keeps feeding people into a meat grinder in Ukraine, going,
with that, we're going downhill.
He screams as he just desperately tries to fucking whittle them down. But even that man, he can only do so much. God bless Putin. I mean, there's 7 billion people to get through. It's going to take him a while. Not all of them are Russians.
The thing is,
he's going to have to step it up.
When all people are gone, nobody's going to make proper games anymore. That's the downside.
I've got proper games, I don't care.
And on that bombshell, let's call it a night before somebody knocks on my door and
Who's going to knock on? I don't even have a head flag up behind me or anything. I've been very good.
Yeah, hope I see you a lot next week, and looking forward to whatever happens. And this has been a nice, relaxing evening.
Sweet. I've got to go and feed the green chicken, or it will fucking come to my front door and do me up like a kipper.
It'll cut you. It'll send you envelopes full of vocabulary.
Tight 30 minutes. That's what we like. Have a good one.
Huzza. See you next week, Lawrence. Bye.